In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, National Assembly opens 5th extraordinary session, reviews draft revised land law. An optimistic forecast for export orders in first quarter. In our world news, North Korea confirms tests of solid-fuel hypersonic missile.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trân with the top stories. The 15th National Assembly commenced its 5th extraordinary meeting at the National Assembly building in Hanoi on Monday morning. National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ is presiding over the meeting with the attendance of Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, State President Võ Văn Thưởng, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, and various party and state officials, as well as former leaders. The concentrated meeting will last 2.5 days and will focus on 4 main agenda items: the amended draft land law, the amended draft law on credit institutions, the draft resolution on specific mechanisms and policies to address difficulties and expedite the implementation of national target programs, and the midterm public investment plan with central budget capital for the 2021 to 2025 period. The extraordinary meeting will conclude on January 18th with a break on January 17th to allow competent agencies to review and finalize the draft laws and resolutions. After the opening session, the National Assembly discussed the draft revised land law. More on this in the following.
During the event, deputies suggested that the drafting committee should consider incorporating methods for land valuation into the draft law.
The valuation results are uncertain, inaccurate, and have significant errors. This is the main cause of problems and delays in determining the appraisal decision in land valuation in recent times.
Regarding land recovery regulations, some deputies have suggested that in order to recover land, development projects must meet 3 conditions. They must be deemed absolutely necessary, prescribed by law, and in the national and public interest.
There are cases where land recovery is included in the cases specified in Article 79, but the project is then abandoned because it is not necessary for the people or for socio-economic development. I propose considering adding the phrase "absolutely necessary" to the opening section of Article 79 of the draft law.
This clause has, in fact, caused many difficulties in handling violations in land cases granted without the proper authority, to the wrong subjects, to the wrong land use term, and when the land user has transferred the land use rights to another person.
Some deputies also proposed classifying land recovery solely for commercial housing projects and commercial and service housing projects as urban area construction investment projects.
Localities in the southeastern region are mobilizing all resources to accelerate the progress of major transport projects that will enhance inter-regional connectivity. This will not only help reduce traffic jams, but also create a driving force for socio-economic development in the region.
Vĩnh Hảo commune in Tuy Phong district connects National Highway 1 to the Vĩnh Hảo Phan Thiết Expressway. Despite the lower speed limit of 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, most traffic from the north and central regions prefers the expressway over National Highway 1.
Previously, traveling from Ho Chi Minh City to Vĩnh Hảo took around 8 to 9 hours. However, now, thanks to the expressway, the journey is shortened to approximately 6 to 7 hours.
The 150-kilometer expressway in Bình Thuận has 7 interchange nodes, connecting National Highway 1 with various Central Highlands provinces. Many people prefer using the interchange between the expressway and National Highway 28B to travel to Lâm Đồng province. It is believed to be safer than taking the Bảo Lộc Pass on National Highway 20, especially during the rainy season.
National Highway 28B links Bình Thuận to Lâm Đồng, which is crucial for tourism development. The relevant agencies also plan to upgrade and expand it. Moreover, National Highway 28 also connects well to Lâm Đồng province and the Central Highlands.
Currently, the Nha Trang-Ho Chi Minh City Expressway is nearing completion, with only 60 kilometers remaining. The positive impact on traffic flow is already noticeable, especially in provinces like Bình Thuận, where tourism revenue nearly doubled to over $900,000 in 2023.
Several enterprises have secured new orders that will extend until June 2024. This is a positive sign for export orders in the early days of the new year. Data from the General Statistics Office shows that certain industry sectors, such as agricultural products, industry, textile, footwear, and wood, are experiencing a significant influx of orders.
This fruit export company has secured export orders for various products, including durian, grapefruit, seedless lemons, longans, and coconuts, for the US, Australia, China, and European markets.
We need to be more proactive in food hygiene, quality, and traceability, meeting Chinese requirements such as growing area codes, packaging factory codes, and expanding quality growing areas.
Wood export orders have also resumed after a period of reduced activity. According to the Ho Chi Minh City Fine Arts and Wood Processing Association, the market conditions this year are still challenging. However, there are still opportunities for businesses to capitalize on.
We plan to go to Milan to introduce Vietnamese products to designers and bring new products to potential markets like Dubai, India, and China that can be further explored.
We have collaborated with associations and industries to develop stronger promotion programs in foreign and niche markets and capitalize on opportunities from the signed FTAs.
To generate growth momentum in the new year, export firms are hopeful that government support policies, such as an extended VAT reduction policy, can continue to assist enterprises in sustaining production and business operations.
According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, or VASEP, seafood exports are forecast to experience a slight recovery in the first quarter of this year. This comes at a time when the world economy is still facing numerous difficulties and market demand remains uncertain. As a result, the fishing industry has set a cautious target for 2024, aiming to reach a total seafood output of 9.22 million tons, which is the same as the practical output achieved in 2023. Additionally, the export turnover value is expected to reach $9.5 billion, representing a slight increase of 3% compared to 2023. Vietnam's seafood exports are expected to experience a slight recovery in the first half of this year, according to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, or VASEP. Despite the challenges in the global economy, the sector is projected to perform better than the same period last year. In response, seafood enterprises have been exploring solutions to stabilize their production and business operations, with a particular emphasis on preserving employment for their workers.
In 2024, My Tin Company expects to maintain a stable revenue of over $8.1 million. This will be accomplished by expanding the production of processed goods, which will provide stable employment for about 400 workers.
Our production has surged significantly. The entire factory is operating at full capacity, including overtime shifts. We are actively recruiting additional workers.
After a period of reduced and irregular production, seafood processing factories in Bình Định and Phie are now preparing to ramp up production. This is in anticipation of export orders for 2024, targeting markets such as South Korea and Japan. The primary products for these orders will be frozen shrimp and tuna.
We encourage and assist fishermen to go out to sea, with a specific emphasis on high-yield fishing occupations. Particularly in challenging areas lacking assurance, we are transitioning to an enhanced extensive farming approach.
We provide assistance to businesses in trade promotion activities and offer up-to-date market developments, trade opportunities, and export advisory programs to promptly guide businesses.
As a response to the export slowdown, businesses have shifted their focus to the domestic market in order to improve production efficiency and overall business operations for seafood processing enterprises.
Now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, January 15th. Coming up next on VTV News. Đà Lạt flower growers strive to meet consumer demand during TED. And Ho Chi Minh City boosts waterway tourism. You're watching VTV News Live. The Khánh Hòa Provincial Confederation of Labor has organized the Trade Union TED Market 2024 at 5 locations across the province. This event is part of the TED Reunion Spring Sharing Program that was recently implemented this year. The first market is held in Nha Trang City, starting from January 15th to 21st. At each market location, the Provincial Labor Confederation has set up discount booths and Zero Vietnam Đồng booths, where workers can purchase essential TED products. A total of 15 discount booths and 10 Zero Vietnam Đồng booths will be available, with the Zero Vietnam Đồng booths only open on the first day. This union fair has been held for the past 10 years and has helped workers in difficult circumstances celebrate TED. Additionally, the Khánh Hòa Provincial Labor Federation has visited union members and workers facing special difficulties throughout the province and providing them with 1,000 gifts. Due to the forecast decline in flower consumption for TED this year, flower growers are shifting their focus from expanding growing areas to diversifying flowering plants and improving the quality of flowers. By prioritizing quality over quantity, they aim to retain and attract more customers. Our report comes from Đà Lạt City, the largest flower-growing region in Vietnam, which produces approximately 3.6 billion stems of flowers annually.
Phie is the owner of a flower farm spanning 1,440 square meters. A portion of the farm is dedicated to growing flowers specifically for TED, while the rest is used for cultivating flowering plants that will be harvested before or after TED. This allows Phie to provide flowers to the market throughout the year. This cultivation model helps him save on labor costs and ensures a sufficient supply of flowers for traders.
I need to calculate very carefully to make sure I still have flowers to harvest and sell at the market after TED. I worked with traders and informed them about my plan.
In 2023, flower prices in Đà Lạt were very low, resulting in growers not making any profit. However, this year, they have diversified the flowering species and improved the quality of their flowers in order to retain customers.
I divide my growing areas into different stages. I have improved the quality of the flowers to attract customers.
Despite declining flower consumption, Lam Dong province remains a key flower supplier for TED. According to statistics, Lam Dong has over 3,800 hectares of flower-growing areas, providing approximately 1.6 billion stems of flowers to domestic markets nationwide. To assist growers in earning profits, authorities have offered support for flower businesses to import 16 new flowering plants. This initiative aims to distinguish Đà Lạt from other regions.
We are focusing on the development of high-tech agriculture as we want to build a brand for Dalat in terms of flower quality and diversity. We have worked with local authorities and other localities to map out plans for flower consumption and export.
Lam Dong Province has been promoting domestic and foreign trade channels for its flower products. Local authorities have strengthened the linkage between traders and nearly 400 growers.
According to a recent report conducted by TikTok on users' shopping behavior in Vietnam, 69% of users prioritizing watching short-form videos to learn about products and services. Additionally, 84% of users are convinced to buy a brand's products and services during the 2023 holiday shopping season. Short-form videos such as TikTok or Shorts statistically have the greatest impact on users' trust and purchasing behavior. The top 5 best-selling categories are fashion, home and living, health and personal care, electronics, and beauty. To date, many domestic flights have been fully booked, and airline ticket prices have significantly increased compared to normal days. According to the announcement of air ticket prices during the Lunar New Year peak from February 8th to February 14th, which is the December 29th to the 5th day of January in the lunar calendar, flights from Ho Chi Minh City to other localities range from over $240 to nearly $490. For round-trip air tickets between Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, departing on February 6th and returning on February 17th, the price range starts at $285. These ticket prices have been adjusted by airlines to be higher than normal. The Aviation Authority of Vietnam has reported a very high booking rate for airlines from February 1st to February 9th. Rivers can be a significant tourism resource, providing scenic views, creation and transportation, and a sense of adventure and heritage. Recognizing the great potential of local rivers, Ho Chi Minh City has been promoting waterway tourism through various activities. Local authorities now aim to attract nearly 500,000 tourists and generate more than $12 million in revenue from waterway tours annually.
In Ho Chi Minh City, the authorities have opened several local routes on inland waters that operate during the daytime and at night. One of the most popular tourism products is the Saigon water bus.
I have held music concerts in many places, but on this water bus, audiences can move freely and interact with vocalists and musicians on stage.
The water bus and double-decker river bus offer visitors panoramic views of both sides of the city. These services are expected to increase the number of tourist arrivals by 10% this year. According to many travel agencies, they can accommodate approximately 3 to 4 groups of foreign tourists every month, with a majority coming from the US, European countries, and Australia.
Waterway tours have attracted a large number of tourists.
Waterway tours are really exciting. I'll choose this service next time.
Inland waterway transportation is one of the most discussed issues now. Authorities should map out waterway routes connecting key areas that are part of the nighttime economy's development.
Ho Chi Minh City has 73 ports that serve waterway transportation and 150 waterway tours. These waterway routes are expected to enhance local tourism development, create jobs, and strengthen the local economy.
The spirit of solidarity, respect, trust, and mutual assistance between Vietnam and Laos, particularly their respective armies, was once again demonstrated during the tour of the Vietnam Military Music and Dance Theater. The artists from the theater visited and performed for soldiers and officers of the Lao People's Armed Forces. This event took place from January 4th to 13th in commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the establishment of Lao People's Army. The performing arts activities were held in 3 provinces of Laos, Savannakhet, Champasak, and Saravane. In addition to art performances, other activities included planting souvenir trees, giving gifts to children in difficult circumstances, and presenting gifts to the wounded and sick soldiers. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism recently held a ceremony in the northern province of Bắc Giang to honor outstanding artists and books in the fields of literature and performing arts in 2023. Rapper Đen Vâu received the title of Artist for the Community, while the Live Show of the Year award went to Đỗ Bảo and Friends by musician Đỗ Bảo. Additionally, the program recognized 83 individuals who achieved high honors at art festivals and contests in various fields, as well as books that were published. One of the honor books was The Teacher by the late Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Thị Vịnh, former Deputy Minister of National Defense. According to the latest data, contemporary folk songs were trending in Vietnam's music industry in 2023. Both traditional and modern-infused songs have gained millions of views and gone viral. This highlights the undeniable appeal of traditional values when used responsibly. Consequently, an increasing number of artists are striving to preserve elements of traditional cultures while showcasing their own musical personalities.
Mùa Dạp Xuề Hoa was the headliner of the special New Year program titled Happy New Year Multicolored 2024, produced by Vietnam Television. The performance featured a unique combination of traditional and contemporary elements. Mùa Dạp Xuề Hoa was actually the sophomore release of guitarist Dũng Phạm, who compiled 11 folk-inspired rock tracks in his album Dân Ca.
Since I'm Vietnamese, I wanted to create something of my own as I write music. Towards the end of the performance, there's a sing-along section where hundreds of audience members sing with our instrumentalist. This is what I think is the true essence of Dân Ca.
I can see his passion for traditional music and his determination to promote it through his compositions.
For many emerging artists, traditional elements are not just for fun or to follow trends, but rather a way to create a sustainable vision. Traditional influences can be seen in almost every Vietnamese music release in the past year. Many artists draw inspiration from ancient tale stories, fairy tales, and folk songs.
I have taken it upon myself to integrate indigenous cultural values into my music for the world to see how beautiful Vietnam is.
It's the same materials, but they now have a new and refreshed look. Our music collection is enriched, and our culture is promoted. This is very reassuring.
Combining traditional materials with modern music is not an easy task. Although some works that take inspiration from traditional references have not received much attention, this approach is believed to have the potential to shape the Vietnamese music industry in the years ahead.
Coming up next in our world news. North Korea confirms tests of solid-fuel hypersonic missile. And Ukraine peace conference opens in Davos. Moving on to our world news. North Korea announced on Sunday that it has successfully tested a solid-fuel hypersonic intermediate-range ballistic missile, according to the Korean Central News Agency, or KCNA. The missile, equipped with a hypersonic warhead, was launched on Sunday afternoon to assess the warhead's gliding and maneuvering characteristic, as well as the reliability of newly developed multi-stage high-thrust solid-fuel engines, as reported by the state-run news agency KCNA. This launch marks North Korea's first missile test since the Hwasong-18 solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile test on December 18th. The ballistic missile launch on Sunday was jointly condemned by top nuclear envoys from South Korea, the United States, and Japan. National security advisors gathered in the Swiss town of Davos on Sunday ahead of the World Economic Forum to discuss a peace plan for Kiev. The conference brought together 120 national security advisors and delegates from 81 countries and international organizations. Andriy Yermak, Ukraine's presidential chief of staff, expressed satisfaction with the conference's results. However, delegates have yet to reach an agreement on the proposed peace formula put forth by the Ukrainian president. Many countries have called for Russia's participation in the peace negotiations. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, stated on Sunday that the global economy is expected to experience a soft landing in 2024. She acknowledged the effectiveness of monetary policy in reducing inflation, but noted that there is still work to be done. Georgieva emphasized that the upcoming year will be challenging as fiscal policy needs to be rebuilt buffers and address the accumulated debt in many countries. She also highlighted the importance of countries being prepared for unexpected events. In a recent warning, the IMF stated that the cost of fragmentation could have significant consequences, potentially leading to a 4.5% decline in global GDP under an extreme de-risking scenario. Millions of Americans across the United States are facing a bitter blast of Arctic air surging in from Canada that's sending temperatures well below zero. The deep freeze threatened to wallop dozens of states with snow and ice, bring up freezing temperatures as far as Florida, and create chaos for travelers.
Footage taken on Sunday showed heavy snow blanketing roads, driveways, and streets after a severe winter storm has brought many cities in the United States to a near standstill. Dangerous freezing temperatures affected political campaigns, sports events, and travel across the country. The Arctic blast has led to power outages for hundreds of thousands of customers in the Northeast and Pacific Northwest. Fallout from the storm included a 100-vehicle stall on Interstate 80 in Iowa, after semi-trailers jackknifed on the slippery roadway and blocked traffic. Some cars were stuck in the same spot for 5 hours as blowing snow encircled the vehicles. Tow trucks had to be brought in to get them off the roadway.
It's overall just been a terrible, terrible winter. And it came out of nowhere, just 2 days, the worst winter, or a very heavy winter at least. But to me, this is a new winter for me, and I just don't necessarily like it.
I've been in Iowa for probably 15 years, so it's your typical weather. But it's not really usual, I guess, for how much we're getting all within 1 week, so that's what's different for sure.
The National Weather Service has issued a stark warning, with over 95 million people under wind chill advisories and some states expecting wind chills to plummet to a bone-chilling -70 degrees Fahrenheit. The frigid conditions are forecasted to persist, putting a damper on the bustling political scene in Iowa, where Republican presidential candidates have been forced to cancel events ahead of the party's first nominating contest on Monday.
Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that is it for this news bulletin. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app at VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.